Hello. Okay, so this is lesson 1 that I'm putting on there. I'm aware that I'm a little bit tall for this, but don't worry, because it's all going to be down here. So we're just going to set up the body. So I want you to stand, feet hip width apart. So the toe next to your big toe, underneath the bony bit of your hip. Nice and tall. There is a piece of string attached to the crown of your head that is pulling you all the way up to the ceiling. You're going to roll the shoulders up towards the ears and then gently down and back. So the shoulder blades are sat nicely flat on the back. You're not sticking your chest out, but from this sort of set back position it's hard to slouch those forward. So up, gently down, just so you're nice, tall, confident, beautiful. Now we're going to take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. We want to aim to fill our rib cage. We want to breathe into the sides. We want to breathe in, filling all up here and out, taking it away from filling the bellies, from filling down here with air. It's all going into the ribs. It's called lateral thoracic breathing because you're breathing into the thoracic section of your rib cage, of your spine. So what helps is if you lace your fingers gently over the rib cage just so they can easily move. Take a deep breath in and try and push those fingers apart. Just a small movement. But that's how we want to breathe because we're going to be holding this nice and tight. So for your core, I'm going to use my analogy of a belt because what else do I use? So imagine you've got a belt going from the hips to underneath the breastbone. It's got 10 notches and we're going to start tightening notch by notch to notch number 10. So notch number 1, 2, pulling it in, 3, taking that belly button through towards the back of the spine, 4, 5, really tense, 6, 7, just start getting a bit uncomfortable, 8, 9, and then 10 is 100%, it's horrible, so drop it to 50%, drop it to halfway, and then a little bit more, down to 30%, that's where we want to be. And then with your pelvic floor, so if anybody is confused with pelvic floor, then it's completely normal. People tend to not be quite sure of where it is, but it's the sling of muscles going around your hips that you use to basically holding a wee, holding anything else down there. That's basically what it's used for. So I want you to imagine you're in a public place. You're not at home, you're not in the comfort of your own living room or bedroom, and you really need a wee, you really need a fart, you really need to do everything that you could possibly do down here, and you need to hold it in. So we're going to squeeze really tight all the way up to 100. My bum's going, everything, bum's clenching, and down to 50%, and then a little bit more, 30%. Hopefully that has helped. If you have any questions, just message me, but that's basically your pelvic floor. So you want to make sure we're keeping our knees soft, so don't lock your knees out, so don't like lock them, but don't have them like half squat, so you want it to be sort of just easy going, you know, you can easily go and move anytime. Okay, so we're going to start a bit of mobility. We're going to start mobilizing the body. So we're just going to go up onto one toe and you're going to change. You're just going to pedal through those feet. You might start cracking, that's fine. Just going to do a couple and then we're going to come to a stop. And you're going to go down to a squat. So you want to aim for the knees to be going over the toes. You don't want to be buckling them in. You're going to float the arms up to shoulder height. So inhale into the ribs, exhale, down to the squat. Coming back up, you're going to take the arms stretching outwards, upwards, overhead. My head's going to disappear and you're going to go onto your toes and back down. Inhale. And we go down again. Coming back up, reaching upwards, up over those toes, test that balance, and down. And again, we're going to do 2 more of these. Mobilizing those knees, mobilizing those hips, and activating our balancing muscles. And down, last one, and we are up. Good, taking the arms to a cross over the chest, dropping the chin down to the chest, curving into this back, dropping the head, going to the left hand side. So the shoulders are square onto the front. You're not tilting either way. Back down. And to the other side. Do this a couple of times. Inhale as you come to center. Exhale, going away. Don't just go out of focus. Keep going. Good, coming back to the middle. Bringing the head up. Whew. Good, now we're just going to go into some arm rolls, taking them all the way up and back. Just going to do 4. A nice big range of motion. And then we're going to do 4 coming forwards. Good. Then we're going to drop the head, chin to chest. We're going to go into a full roll down. So you're going to drop the chin to the chest, knees soft, hands, arms just loose, hanging there. You're going to go down 1 vertebrae at a time, as if you're peeling yourself off the wall behind you. Going down, deep breath at the bottom. Exhale and stack those vertebrae back up 1 at a time. Your head being the last thing to come up. So you really want to feel that articulation through the spine as you're going down. Inhale. Exhale, chin to chest, going down. Deep breath. Exhale, climbing up. We're going to do this one more time. And on the last one, we're going to stay down there, we're going to bend our knees, hands flat on the mat, and we're going to sit. So inhale, chin to chest. Really nice and slow. Go to your stretch, bend those knees, hands on the mat. And take yourself down to a seated position. Now down here, cross those legs, sit up nice and tall. Remember, ears, shoulders, that space, shoulders set back, 30%. Come to a prayer position, middle finger under the chin. We are just going to use the muscles either side of the spine to go into a small rotation. So we're only going to go over our knees, we don't want to go any further. Prayer position, inhale. Exhale, rotate over the right knee. The shoulders and the head, back to center, should only be moving as a secondary thing. The spine is what is rotating. The head is moving just to stay in line with where the spine and the back is going. Inhale to center. Exhale, moving away. It is just a small movement. You should be feeling it in the muscles either side of the spine. Good, do one more each side. And drop the arms. Now take yourself sideways on, so you are long ways down the mat. Take the legs out in front of you and then open them slightly to a small V, so the feet are either side of the mat. Now we're going to do a similar thing. We're going to do another rotation into a small stretch. This exercise is called the saw. So you're going to have your arms out to the sides. Inhale to prepare, sitting up nice and tall. You're going to rotate over one leg, taking the arms further. So the back stays over the leg, the arms go further, and the opposite hand goes towards the opposite foot. There's a little stretch, up, rotate. Over the other foot, down, sitting up tall. Good. Small rotation. Over that foot, up, back to center. Inhale. Exhale, rotate into the stretch. Inhale, coming back to center. One more each side. Good, bringing the knees in, feet flat on the floor, sitting up nice and tall. Now you might want to shuffle yourself forward a little bit so you've got enough mat behind you to lay back. So sitting up nice and tall, keep the hands behind the thighs for stability. We're just going to drop that chin to the chest, sucking that belly button in, curving into the back. And we're going to roll halfway down to the floor, controlling the movement with our abdominals. So inhale, exhale, chin to chest, curving into the back, rolling down halfway, and from here just pulling yourself back up, no momentum, just using this to sit up tall, to go again. Drop the head, curve the back, going down to roughly about halfway, to control it back up. Now you can keep going further until you get all the way down to the floor. You decide on what your strength is, but if you're starting to feel like once you're down, you're having to use momentum, or your feet are coming off the floor, don't go down as far. So inhale, exhale, chin to chest, curve back, rolling down to wherever you can. If you can roll all the way down to the floor, great. Just make sure that when you're coming back up, you tuck that chin to the chest. Control the exercise completely with core strength, not momentum. Inhale, keep going with your own breath. Good, you can do that with ease. Get all the way down to the floor, take the hands away. If you can do that easily, then just straighten the legs. It makes it a lot harder. Still tucking the chin to the chest and curving into that back. Completely controlling it. No feet coming off the floor. Keep going with your own breath. We're going to do this a couple more times. If you can do this with ease, put the hands behind the neck, so lace them behind the neck. One more deep breath. Good, we're going to do one more and we're going to lay down flat. We're going to stay on the mat. Good, now we're going to take the feet flat to the mat, knees to the ceiling, hip width apart. Keeping the hands either side of the body. Make sure you're realigned, make sure you've got that space. All of this pulled in at 30% and this at 30%. Now we're going to go into a tabletop position. By that I mean, we're going to take the right leg, knee directly above the hip, shin parallel to the ceiling and the floor, like a table. If I was going to put a drink on here, then I'm not going to tip it on myself, and I'm not going to tip it on the floor. Tabletop. Now connect the ribs to the hips, pull them together, really tighten this, and you'll notice your lower back lengthens and is protected against the mat. That's when you can bring the second leg up to meet. Now from here, you're going to take the hands above the head. We're going to inhale, exhale, take the head and shoulders off the floor, tucking the chin to the chest, reaching the hands forwards parallel to the floor. And we're going to hold. Deep breaths. And we're going to lower, taking one leg down at a time. Now that is the position in which we're going to start beating our arms. So we're going to go together, we're going to go to 30 beats. The idea is to get to 100, hence the name. We're going to go to 30 beats, and then we're going to go to 50, and then we're going to go to 100. You do what you can do. If you do 3 lots of 30, that is also great. You stick to your level. So hands overhead. One leg to tabletop, ribs to hips, pulling it together. Second leg to meet. Exhale, reach over, and start to beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want this to be quite urgent. Keep breathing. Breathe in for 5 and out for 5. And I've lost count, so I'm going to say that's about 30. I'm going to lower my head, my arms, and then my legs. Now if you felt that that was enough for you, then go for 30 again. If you feel like you can go for 50, let's go for 50. So, taking one leg to tabletop, ribs to hips, second to meet. Arms over, head off, and let's go 50. Keep breathing. And that's 50. Lowering the head, lowering the legs. Whew. Good job. We're going to go again. If you can, we're going to go for the 100. If you can't, again, 30, 50, whatever you can do is great. We're just going to go for the third time. Three times charm. Okay, arms overhead. Deep breaths. One leg to tabletop, ribs to hips, second to meet. Deep breath, exhale, arms overhead. Let's go for 100. Keep breathing. Halfway there. Nearly there. And 100. Lower the head, lower the legs, and we're going to go into a full body stretch. So take that feet and hands away from each other and just appreciate how that feels for a second. Good work. Okay, from here, taking the feet back flat on the mat, knees to the ceiling. Realign yourself. Hands either side of the body, don't have them too close to the body. You're just going to take that right foot up to the ceiling, and we're just going to do a small movement of going down, coming back up. We want to make sure that the movement is coming from the hip and only the hip, that our lower back, our middle is stable, we're not arching as it's coming down, so pulling that belly button in. The pelvis is stable, the only thing that's moving is the hip and the leg. Put your hands on your hips if you want to just feel, make sure that everything is doing what it should be, keeping it nice and stable. And changing sides. Doing the same with the left leg. Making sure you're still breathing, everything is still pulled in, that pelvic floor hasn't switched itself off. Keeping that leg nice and straight, reaching towards the ceiling, elongating through that leg. Good, one more. And then bring the right leg to meet the left. Arms to the side, because whenever people do this in gyms, they tuck them underneath the bum and it helps to support. But we're not relying on anything else other than this. So start fairly small, keep the feet together. You're just going to lower both down towards the floor. And we're going to come back up. Deep breath, exhale. Lower down. Come back up. You don't want your ribs to be doming. You don't want the lower back to be peeling and arching off the floor. You want to just be doing this purely from abdominal strength. So if it means you don't go as low as you normally would if you did it in a gym, that's fine. We're working on this. Good, keep going. Keep breathing. We're going to do 3 more. Last 2. Last 1. And lowering the legs down to the mat. Feet flat on the floor, knees to the ceiling. Whew. Take a moment, get your breath, grab a drink if you need one. And we're going to go back to tabletop. So, hands either side, realign, 30%. Deep breath in. Exhale, right leg up, knee above the hip, parallel ceiling and floor. Ribs to hips, second leg to meet. Now we're going to keep the head and shoulders on the floor, you'll be happy to know. And we're just going to take one leg down at a time. But the angle at the knee is going to stay exactly the same. Imagine you're holding a tennis ball in this right angle here. And if you go too big, you're dropping it. If you come too small, you're going to squish it. So, we're going to keep this angle the same. The movement is coming just from the hips. So inhale, exhale, taking that right leg down. You're just going to tap the floor with your toe, bringing it up. Taking that leg down, tapping the floor, coming up. See how my knee is staying the same? My knees aren't moving. It's all coming from my hip. I want you to imagine you're just using your foot to just tap some ripples in a little puddle and back. It's a gentle movement, but you'll feel it start to pull on the abdominals. So keep these tight. Don't let your ribs start to dome out. Don't let any arching happen in the lower back. Deep breath. Exhale as you move away. Inhale as you come back. Now you can stay here if you want to stay here, if you can already feel this working. Or as one leg comes up, you can start to lower the other at the same time to create a scissor movement. Making sure the angle at the knee is not faltering. You're moving both legs at the same time, but you're not coming any further than where your hips are. Keep going. Good. Keeping those legs moving, keeping that angle the same. Keep going with the breath, keeping this all pulled in at 30%. If you're doing both legs at the same time, making sure they cross a bit further away from the body. Good. Do 4 more each side, 8 more in total. Nearly there. Bringing both up to tabletop, to the lower one, lower the other. Good work. Full body stretch. Really stretch into this. Okay, so from the full body stretch, we're going to go into a side exercise. So, I want you all to roll on to your left hand side. We're going to sit in what I call the mermaid position. So, you want to imagine you've got a straight line going down the center of your mat. Your hand, your hip bone and your ankles, all going to follow that line. You want to have your knees and your ankles stacked, hips stacked, and we're going to sit like we're a mermaid on top of a rock, hence why I call this my mermaid position. And then from here you're going to open up that top knee, you're going to put the heel of this top foot in front of the ankle of the bottom foot, and you're going to place the hand facing upwards. Now this is where it gets a little bit, it's going to feel a bit awkward, it does to start with, but you'll be fine. So you're going to push down into this hand to start to feel a bit of tension here, and you're going to push down into this knee. You're going to inhale, exhale, you're going to push upwards, taking that hand overhead to come back down. I want you to imagine you have like a hoist wrapped around your waist, it's pulling you up and it's pulling you down. So, painting a rainbow with that hand, exhale, up and over, into a half plank, to come back down, to go again. We don't want to stay on the mat for too long. If you have wrist problems and this hurts your wrist, you can do it on the elbow. You'll still get a similar effect. Good, keep going. Breathing out. Breathing in as we come down. Going with the flow of your breath. Keep going up and over. We're just going to keep it here for today. Good, we're going to do 4 more. It's 4. And down, breathing in. Exhale, 3. And down, breathing in. 2. Last one. And up. Good, now we're going to go onto all 4s. So making sure that our hands are beneath our shoulders, and our knees are beneath our hips. Just move this up, facing you a little bit more. The only thing with having a mat on carpet is that it likes to move around. So, from here, realign yourself, making sure that this is pulled in. We've got a nice straight back. We've got that space between our ears and our shoulders. We're not turtling. We are stable. We're going to take that right foot, keeping the big toe connected to the floor. We're going to extend that away. And we're going to bring it back in. I want you to think length. Lengthen through that leg behind that knee. Extend away and in. And again on the right hand side. And on the left. Now we're going to incorporate the opposite hand to foot. So left hand, right foot, keeping that middle thing, that little finger connected to the floor. And in, changing sides, breathing out, breathing in as you come in. Think reaching, think long. Now you can stay there if you want to, but if you're comfortable, you can start taking the hand and foot off the floor. Test that balance. Coming in. Extend away, lift. Doesn't have to be too high. Start fairly small, and then take it higher the more confident you feel with the exercise. Those bellies pulled in, pelvic floor switched on. Keep breathing, keep testing that balance. Try and reach forwards for the wall in front of you and try and poke the wall behind you with that foot. Good. Going to do 1 more each side. And push back into child's pose. Relax. Give those wrists a little bit of a break because we're going to go back onto all 4s in a second. In your own time, coming back into that all 4 position, hands beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips, pulled in, neck nice and long. Now we're just going to use the feet this time. We're going to extend the right leg away, and we're going to lift a little higher than we did before, bunching into that bum cheek. You want to feel it, really feel it here. Lower and in, left leg. Don't arch into the back or come down to get your leg higher. I don't want that. I want this to stay stable. This is just going a little bit higher than it did. Good. And lift, squeeze, and down. Extend away, lift, squeeze, and down. Keeping this whole idea of length, elongating, reaching through that leg. Now if you want to stay here doing it 1 at a time, then do so. If you want to go on to the next level, extend away. We're going to do 4. 1, touch the floor. 2, come down to the floor. 3, 4, and in. Extend away. 1, coming down all the way. 2, 3, 4, and in. Keep going, keep changing sides. Don't let the lower back be compromised. You're not overarching. Good, still keep taking deep breaths. Don't let the heads drop, don't let the shoulders hunch. You're stable, the only thing really moving is that leg in that hip. Do one more each side, make sure you're even. Make sure you've done the same amount on each leg. Good, and back into that child's pose. Stretch into those glutes. Now we're going to go on to the other side. So the side you didn't do before, we're going to change. Sitting into our mermaid position along our straight line. So ankles, hips, hand, mermaid. Lifting that top knee, heel in front of the ankle, hand facing to the ceiling. Making sure that we have a lift, pushing into the floor. Deep breath. And on the exhale, pushing into that knee, into that hand, up and over, and down. And again, imagining that hoist wrapped around your waist, something pulling you up, and letting you back down. Painting that rainbow with that top hand as you go over, to come back down. Inhale as you come down, exhale, up and over. Coming down onto the elbow if necessary. If that wrist hurts, if you have any wrist problems, then you can stay here. Three more. 3, and down, lift. 2, down, and 1, coming down. Good. Now we're going to go into some stretches, some relaxation. So we're going to go onto our knees at the edge of the mat. Either edge is fine. Take that right leg forwards, keeping that back knee on the floor. And we're just going to stretch into that hip flexor, pushing down towards the mat. Continuing our deep breaths. Trying to relax into the stretch. Try not to be too tense. Taking the hands down to the mat, lowering onto that shin. Stretching deeper into that thigh. Stay here if it's already quite tight, if you're not quite flat. If you have that flexibility, then just rotate the foot outwards so you can sit more onto this under thigh. Deep breaths. And just roll down over that front leg. Coming up to sitting, coming back onto that shin, having the hands stable on the floor, tucking that back toe, press up position, left leg forwards, back knee down, change sides, pushing down into that other hip flexor. Deep breath still, keep breathing, it's very important. Try and stay relaxed while you're stretching into that muscle, into that joint. Hands on the floor, down onto this shin. If you've got that flexibility, rotating that foot outwards so you can sit more onto this bit of the leg. Bringing this back leg round, both legs in front, taking yourself safely down onto the mat, onto lying. Taking that right leg up to the ceiling, holding behind either the thigh or the calf, not behind the actual joint because that would be bad, and just gently pulling that towards you. Not too aggressively, trying to keep the legs straight but not completely locked out, but we don't want it to be like this either because that's doing nothing. Stretching that hamstring. Deep breaths. With each out breath, try and pull it a little bit more towards you. And release. Taking that left leg to the ceiling, holding again. Behind the muscle, not the joint. Keeping it nice and straight and not locked. A little bit closer towards the body with each breath. And then putting the hands out to the side, bringing the feet and knees together. Just going to roll the head to the left while dropping the knees down to the right. Doing a full spine stretch. If you need to deepen the stretch, taking this top foot and just taking it up over that bottom knee. And just relax, close the eyes, focus on the breath. Together, back to center, taking the head the other way, take it to the right, dropping the knees to the left, lifting that top foot if necessary. Bringing those feet together, knees back to centre, head back to centre. Bring yourself up to sitting. Sitting tall, whichever's most comfortable. If that's legs out front, if that's legs crossed, that's completely up to you. Taking the hands round, hugging a tree, as I like to say. Pushing that forward, dropping the head, sucking that belly button in, curving the back. And just really stretch into that back. Reaching round, clasping the hands behind the back, pulling that backwards, sticking the chest out. Deep breath still. And then just drop the arms, give them a shake. And that is it. That is the class. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. That was a nice, fairly beginner level. Let me know what you thought, let me know if you had any questions, and I will see you next time.